Hi guys, my name is Johanna. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. A big shout out to my channel members for supporting my channel. Thank you. All right, so I'm a bit late to filming this. It's actually the 13th of November, but this is my October completed pages video. Buckle in, get comfy, because these generally tend to be a bit long. So this is half of the books that I have completed for this month. Once I'm done with this, then we'll go to the second half, and then we'll end the video with my coloring book journal reference thingy. It's been a while since I've made a video, so yeah, if you hear any stumbling or fumbling, or if there's any weird edits, it's because of that. All right, let's get started. I don't generally link things in my videos, especially this one, since there's going to be a lot of channels that I'm referencing, but any buddy color that I've done or any channel that I've mentioned, I will put the link to their channel in the description box below, or to their Instagram page if they're on Instagram. So one of the pages I completed for this month, I believe, was for Olga Rani. And yes, it was bow and arrow. So I completed this page, which is Artemis. It was actually really fun and also done in the beginning of October. Oh, it's almost the middle of November. So some of these I'm not going to remember that I've done, but luckily I write a little bit of notes on the side. It was a pretty simple color, and I like how her top came out. I actually don't know if Artemis is a redhead, but I like the color combination. And I didn't do very much with the birds because you guys know bugs and birds I'm just not a fan of. But that was a completed page out of this Gods and Beasts, a mythological coloring book by Adam Fisher. Actually got a couple of done in here. This is Carla Magana's newest, at least I think newest to me, Graveyard Girls. And I did this one right here. And this was a buddy color with Deb, Pixie, and Poet. And this is actually the first one I completed. I added the kind of archway there just so that I can ground her. You guys know I don't generally like to do an entire full background. I do like to give these girls names. I think the entire book I'm going to try to give them a name that starts with G because G for graveyard, and that's kind of how my brain works. So her name is Gossamer Golightly, and then I added a Tim Holtz sticker, and it says, "I admit that my weirdness is above the national average, but I'm comfortable with that." And I think she came out really good, and I love the color combination. For me, Halloween always screams black, purple, orange, and green, always. And then the second one was kind of a last minute one that I did with Amanda Downey and Kate from Kate's Coloring Haven. And we decided to do this one here. I knew when I saw this picture that I wanted her to be a ghost. And so that kind of picked the color palette for the rest of it because I did want her to kind of stand out. And so she's done in mostly grays, although there's just touches of red right there. And then the background, it's I guess more of a dusky background, or at dusk. And then her name is Gail. And then the text I wrote on this one was, "The trouble is, you think you have time." And I liked this one as well. Carla Magana's pages, this one actually I feel is a little bit more involved in some of her other ones, which I like, but they also, for me, always just scream freedom. Just do what you want, how you want, and it's still going to come out beautiful because that's just the kind of artwork it is. But that's Graveyard Girls, a coloring book by Carla Magana. I did do one in here as we are doing a Grogu in 2022, and the page I completed is this one right here. So that was the October group buddy color that we're doing, and that one was suggested by the lovely Bee of Be Cozy. So again, I'll link the channel below. And I didn't have a color palette. I always know what he's going to be. I never know what the background's going to be, and it just kind of happens. This also counts towards Morgan O Scavenger Hunt because the prompt for October was bug. So it counts for both of those. And the text I put on here, because in any of these Morgano, because there's so much space, I do like to put some text. It says, at what point does a new friend move into the realm of being a snack? Asking for a friend, this is the way. Now, I did put an announcement, I believe, here on my channel as well as Instagram, but the November group buddy color that we're doing is this one right here. This also will count towards the November prompt for Morgan O Scavenger Hunt 2022 of Bird. So with that scavenger hunt, any picture from any Morgan O, and he actually came out with a new one with the elves or whatever. If any of the books have a bird in it, it counts towards that hashtag. And then this is the one for November that we're doing. Although, like I've mentioned in the past, any Grogu page that you've done in this book, you can put towards that hashtag, just because it'll be cute to see a gallery of all of the little baby Yoda Grogu. This is The Way Home by Morgan O'Brien. I finally completed a picture out of this matchstick mouse, and I did this one right here. And it was a fun color, and it's got some pencil work, some alcohol marker work, and generally most of my pictures are going to be alcohol marker work. And I tried to make this look like glass. I don't know that I succeeded very well. I think I should have based in marker like a blue or something, so that it would stand out a little bit more from the walls, but overall I'm happy with it. And this says, Matchstick Mouse invited her friends over to enjoy some of her delicious floral tea. She was having so much fun distracting them so they wouldn't notice her curtains didn't match. And I didn't notice that until I was coloring, and I'm like, why don't they match? And that's bothering me a lot. Well, whatever. So that's a completed page out of this one. Again, this would have counted, or yeah, I didn't post it to Instagram, but this would have counted towards Morgan O Scavenger Hunt because the little bee and the prompt was bug. But this is Matchstick Mouse, a floral coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. I did complete 2 pages out of this. This is an ongoing buddy color with my girl Patty. And so the first one we did is this one right here. And both of us approached this one quite differently. Definitely check out her channel and her Instagram. But we were also a little hesitant because we didn't really know how to approach this one. So I wanted this to count for 2 things. I wanted it to count for my buddy color with Patty, but this also would have gone towards M. Bean's 1 color challenge because it's all done in varying types of blue. And overall, I like how it came out. The quote that I put on here, which is from Tim Holtz, one of the sticker books that I have, is listen to your heart, it will show you the way. And then the second buddy color I did was this one. And what I did was I put the background in black acrylic because I've actually done this picture once before, which was this right here. And this was done back in December of 2021. And because I had done it before, I just wanted to go in a completely different way. Because it was in October, I decided to go with more of a dark theme. And I actually really like how this came out. I think she really pops. I think the black really grounds the page. And then the quote I put on the page was, when darkness falls, beauty is lit from within. And that's a quote from Jonathan Jenna. So again, a lovely buddy color with my girl Patty. We do have 2 more scheduled in this. I think we're going to try to just blitz through this and finish this over the next few months. And then we'll probably work on either the Elegant Faces one that we have or the Japanese Girls ones that we have, because we really do enjoy working on these Ikuko pages together. But those are my 2 completed pages from Ikuko's Surreal Fantasy. All right, I did complete the group buddy color that Pixie is hosting from this coloring book, Area Veil, and the hashtag is Complete Area Veil. And the page chosen this month was this one right here. This one was a lot more work than I had anticipated, and that's because I couldn't really figure out the sky. The sky actually has several different layers because I thought I could to put a layer of blue and purple, but then I didn't like how that looked, so I put another layer of blue on top. And so it does look a little mottled in the background, like there's some tone in the sky, and I kind of like that. And then there's so much brown on the page. I wanted everything else to kind of pop. It is mostly done with alcohol markers, although there is some Spectrum Sparkle, there's some dual hybrid metallic, and there's also some Pentel glaze pens. But overall, I'm really happy. And then you guys know, stars and moons, generally speaking, are going to be highlighters, and this is no exception. I actually did the sky all first, and then I added the stars to it, and it didn't come out a fully crisp white, but I think it still looks good. And I don't think these little buttons or dots were on the mushrooms. I added that again just to add a little bit more texture. Now for November, I believe this is the page was chosen. Yeah, Clove and Thyme. Now, I didn't put a blotter when I did that other page, but that's okay. I am just going to work around these colors, try to hide it when I can, and maybe emphasize it when I can't. But I don't let stuff like this bother me. That was my mistake, but it's still not a ruined page. Well, I'm interested to see how this is going to come out. We'll see at the end of the month. But yeah, this is Area Veil, a coloring book by Chroma, and I did this for Pixies, a complete Area Veil prompt. I have a completed page out of this, Spooky Town by Coco Wayo. I believe this was the very first page I done out of this, so I could have had this count towards Lavella's and T's Color Your Hoard, but I'm pretty sure I didn't post this. But this was a buddy color that I did with my friend, the colorist Jen, on Instagram. I believe she posted it. So definitely check out her Instagram. But this was a quick and fun color. You guys know, like I said, orange, purple, black, and green are my Halloween colors. And I wanted her hair to be green, and that kind of set the tone for everything else because I wanted the walls to recede. And I kind of like that they're kind of Christmas colors on this page, but I don't get any kind of Christmas color or Christmas vibes at all. But when it comes to cats and things, I like to do that sort of mottled calico effect because then I don't have to do fur. Also try to add in a little bit of lighting so it looks like the candles are casting shadows, and I think these two are pretty successful with that. I don't think this one is, but overall I'm actually really happy with this, how this page came out, and I love how these two are playing next to each other. But that is a completed page out of this one, Spooky Town by Coco Wayo. Of course, I have a completed page out of one of Zan Von Zed's coloring books, and this is Ladies of Leisure 3. This, of course, was a buddy color with my girl, Deb, and we did this one right here. Again, I didn't really know the direction I wanted to go, with the exception of this circle. And I can't remember. No, the circle wasn't on there. So I wanted to add something to focus on her. This is one of the few pages I actually brought the background all the way to the edge of the page, but I knew that I wanted her to be backlit with this kind of grainy, spooky green. This is a combination of Graphitint paint pans and Inktense paint pans. And I did want to put a little bit of texture because I think there's like trees behind her. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with her, but I love the color combination and all of the colors built out from here. So how do I make the green pop? How do I make her hair pop? Then what do I do for her clothes? And then this, I actually would have liked a little darker. I could have gone over with some alcohol marker, but I think the effect overall is really pretty to look at. You guys know I love Zan Von Zed's work, and check out Deb's because hers is phenomenal as well. You can check out her Instagram page. But that is my completed page out of this one, Ladies of Leisure 3 by Zan Von Zed. I have a completed page out of this one, Characters Through Worlds and Times, a grayscale coloring book by Kristen Caron. This was done for Olga Rani. A prompt was Feather, and I think she's really cute. Actually, this is the one that I have at work, so I will be taking this back to work. But again, I don't get fussed with the background, but I did add a little quote on here that says, "Shine like the whole universe is yours." For the Tim Holtz sticker quotes that I have. I have one that's just kind of like this, inspirational, motivational, and then I have the snarky ones, and I just go through whenever I'm trying to add some text to the page and I don't want to write it myself, and see if I can find anything that fits. I think she's really pretty, and I was happy to do this one. But this is Characters Through Worlds and Times by Kristen Caron. This was another buddy color with my friend Colorist Jen. For November, we've also got 2 pages. Well, I'm so behind on my buddy colors, and I'm hoping I can get there by the end of the month, but we shall see. And the page we completed was this one right here. Jen's one is absolutely beautiful. Definitely check out her Instagram page. Now, I did do the frame again, so I wouldn't have to do a background. I always knew, again, like the other page I just showed you, that I wanted to do the background in green, and the colors on top of that were kind of built up. Calico cat, and then white cat with just a little hint of pink and gray, just to kind of play up the white. I don't know that this counted for anything by way of prompts. I don't have anything written down. And then again, just a quote on here that says, "Beautiful chaos." And that's my completed page out of this, Chris Ortega's A Colorless Kingdom, Volume 2. I did complete a page out of Matthew Davidson's Gorgeously Gothic, and actually really like how she came out. And this was for Oglarani's Find in Color of Chameleon. At least I think that's a chameleon. Definitely looks like a lizard dude of some kind. And again, the background is what built the page. You guys know my favorite color combination is pink and green. So this also could have gone towards my own hashtag, Fairy Tales and Stories for Johanna 2022. And I really like how simple this was. I did some shading predominantly with alcohol marker, although I did add some depth to it by adding some white jelly roll. And here, I think is a dual hybrid metallic and silver for the web. But I don't know that there is any other glitter on this page. The paper in here, or the ink work in here, is a bit shiny. So the shine that I'm getting from that isn't like a glaze pen. I think it's the ink of the paper. And when I was doing this page, the only thing I didn't know what was this right here. I didn't know if that was part of her hat, if that was a bow to this, or part of her hair. So I just made this part of her hair, but I really don't know what that is. But that's okay. And this says, "There is freedom in not belonging." And I think she's really pretty. So this also could have counted towards Lavella and T's Color Your Hoard, again, if I posted to Instagram, which I did not. But this is Matthew Davidson's Gorgeously Gothic. I have 2 pages completed out of this one. The first one here is probably my favorite of the month, and it's this one. This was a buddy color with my girl Chelsea. I'll link her channel below. And all of Ines Guerrero's artwork is striking to me, but I thought this one was particularly striking, and so I was very happy to do it. Again, framed her out so I wouldn't have to do an entire background. And I kind of got inspired by a picture I'd seen that Ines had posted on Instagram that kind of looked like this by way of the background, not so much of the girl, because I think it was a different picture altogether, but kind of grays and greens kind of going together. And I think the Graphy tints and the Inktense paint pans really do well with this artwork, because it does bring sort of like a, I don't want to say a grayscale, but it brings a little bit of a darker charcoal tint to it that I really like the effect of. I wanted her hair to stand out, and so I did it in whites and grays, and I think overall she looks really pretty. And then I don't know if this was a typo, because this actually is a sticker that I purchased from Etsy. It was a sticker sheet, and it says "Follow your hearth" instead of "Follow your heart." But for this picture, I think it actually worked out. So this is called The Escapist Reading, again by Ines Guerrero. I also had a buddy color with Deb in here, and I like this one a little bit less because I didn't have a direction with the colors, and I think on this one it really shows. So I do like how I did the background, again framed it out. I did bring the background all the way to the page, but then I don't know exactly what it is about her coloring. I think her skin looks good. I think actually her outfit looks good. I just don't think all of these colors look good together. But I think she's still pretty. It's just, I think my color combination was a little off with this. And then this is a Tim Holtz sticker that I put on here that says, I would like to confirm that I do not care. And for November, Chelsea and I are going to be doing this one. As you can see, I have not started it. And this is actually twofold. This is going to be a buddy color with my girl Chelsea, but also this counts for Olga Rani's prompt of Beauty and the Beast that she's doing for autumn that ends in November. So this will give me that extra incentive to complete the page. But this is a coloring book by Coloring Heaven, Gothic Fantasy Special by Ines Guerrero. A completed page out of this. This would have gone towards my hashtag Coloring the Year of the Tiger. This is Coloring Heaven's Zodiac Special. And the page I completed with this one right here. Again, another easy and quick color. This also went for Olga Rani's hashtag of bow and arrow. This is Sagittarius, the Archer. And the quote I put on here was, I don't go crazy. I am crazy. I just go normal from time to time. And that was something I'd seen on Etsy from Unistash. I don't know what that means, but that's who I'm referencing. And this background was done with a stencil. As you can tell, my stencil work is not very clean because it's all up in his tail, but whatever. He looks good. They look good. It looks good. But that's my completed page out of this one. Zodiac Special by Coloring Heaven. Oh, that particular artwork was completed or done by Kelly O'Gorman. And then the last page for the first pile of completed books that I've done is out of here. This is a buddy color that I was doing with Corey. I don't believe she finished hers, which is fine, but I did want to show you mine. Now I'm going to put a picture on. It probably won't be the greatest quality because it was just a quick picture when we were deciding what to color. But as you can see, I actually altered this page. So the original page in here had a lot of floof, and I didn't like that at all. I liked her, but I didn't like that. And so it took me a while to try to figure out how to make this interesting, because I could have just done this background in black. And so I decided to put like she's flying in the sky and that she's flying away from a haunted house. And so overall, I like how this looks. I like how she looks. I like how this looks. But it took me a while to try to figure out scale and proportion. And then I tried to do the background in this charcoal color that I had. And then I'm like, well, I don't know if I really like that, but doing backgrounds, especially around corners like this, and not doing it in full-on black, it's tedious work for me. So eventually I'm like, she's fine. But overall, I think she looks good, and I definitely like the results better than if I had left all of those floofy things around her. But it was a really interesting color to do. And again, her in and of itself took very little time. It was just figuring out all of this that was a bit time consuming, but I am really happy how this page came out. But that is my completed page out of this. Fantasia by Nicholas Chandrawathanetta. Totally butchered that one. And that was, again, a buddy color with Corey of Colorfully Optimistic. All right, so we are on stack number 2. And so I did complete a page out of this. This is the mini block portraits, and I believe this was for a hashtag. Yeah, it's Flynn Rider from Tangled, and the hashtag was chameleon. And the thing I enjoy but not about Disney is that I will always try, at least to the best of my ability, to color them in the style of the original character. So like I knew who he was and where he was from, and then doing the colors for him made sense. But I'm like, well, this is a board, so it should be brown. There's a lot of brown, there's a lot of green. Can't be helped. But yeah, so sometimes when I'm looking at these pages, I'm like, yeah, I don't know that I naturally want to color it, but I also know that I want them to look like their characters so they're easily identifiable. I don't know if that's just a me issue, but yeah, here's Flynn Rider because of the chameleon right there. And this is Hachette Heroes Mini Block Portraits. I completed a page out of this one. This was towards Pixie's Disney Coloring, I think is the prompt. And for October, the prompt was from the Aristocats. I don't think it actually was her. I think it was Thomas O'Malley. Does that sound right? I think that sounds right, but I know this is Marie. I have never actually seen this cartoon. I don't know that I will ever actually see this cartoon, and I know of her because Hobonichi for this year had some 101 Dalmatians. Oh, well, that doesn't make any sense at all because she's a cat. Maybe it was Aristocats? I'm pretty sure it was Aristocats. I don't know where I got 101 Dalmatians. Whatever. This is the prompt for October, or at least this could have gone towards that. And so I wanted her to pop. I didn't actually do very much to her itself, and so all of the color on the page had to come from the background, and so I just chose blues. Like, I can't tell you why. But that is my completed page out of this one, Pop Art by Hachette Hero. This one I did get from Lyrica.com. Again, I don't generally link things, but if you want any links to the books that I've posted in this video, then just let me know in the comments below. I did complete one out of this one. This is Eerie Postcards. And this was the first one, or the first of two that she has. So this is what I'm considering Eerie Postcards 2021. And the page I completed is this one right here. And this also went for Olga Rani's Find in Color of Feather. This also could have gone, and I want to say I posted this, maybe I didn't, towards Poets Masquerade Color hashtag as well, because they look like they're dressed up. But this one is really pretty, really easy. I like the little postcard books because it's a small composition, so it's fully detailed, which I like, but there's not a lot on the page to begin with just because of the size. So, you know, I can get it done fairly quickly. This only took me a couple of hours. Alcohol marker for most of it. I do, when I remember, try to put a blotter sheet between, although it's really thick paper, so I don't know that it needed it, but just in case. But that is my completed page out of this one, Eerie's Postcard, a book from 2021. I did complete a page out of this. This was a buddy color with my girl Tammy, and this was an 11th hour. I actually finished this on Halloween, and this is the Wild Mouse Yururi Sketches by Mikiko Inatomi, and we did this page right here. Again, I framed it out so I wouldn't be concerned with a background, and I did a base of Inktense paint pans. I actually don't use my pencils very often. There's some Caran d'Ache Luminance on here and some dual hybrid metallic as well as Pentel Glaze pen on here, and I think it looks really nice. There was a little bit of ghosting here and here. So it looks like I did, because I did a base of everything in the Inktense paint pan, and then I went over with the dual hybrid, and that's what looks like it's ghosting right there. Unless this was a prompt for Olga, and I can find a bird page in pretty much most of my books, I don't know that I would have done this, but if I ever feel compelled, I could always do this background in like acrylic. and then paint the bird in some other kind of paint. But again, it's not a composition that I'm too fussed with. So I really like how this one came out, and I'm really thankful for Tammy for having patience, because I wasn't sure that I'd have enough time to complete this one, but I'm glad I did because it came out really pretty. But that is my completed page out of this one, the Sketch Mouse, the Wild Mouse Yururi sketches by Makiko Inatomi. This was also another buddy color with my girl Tammy. We are enjoying doing an Erie page every single month. I cannot remember if we have anything for November. Maybe? I'll have to look. It's been the kind of month where I actually haven't colored very much, and I haven't been in the mood to color. I haven't actually been in the mood to film, color, or anything, so yeah, it's been an odd one for me. But I've been reading a lot, and I've been watching a lot of television, so, you know, go me. But we did complete this page right here. Now, when I did this page and originally sent her the picture, I did not have the black background, and so it looked good, but I think with the black background it actually really pops, because what's framing the page are these ghosts, and I left them pretty much white. I did add some gray. This is done in Graphitint, Inktense paint pans, and some Tombow water-based markers. There was a little bit of bleed through, and I think what that is it was Inktense and Inktense paint pans and water-based marker, and I think that's fine. But when I added the either Spectrum Sparkle, I don't have it on there, so it's either Spectrum Sparkle in clear or Wink of Stella in clear, then it made the orange bleed through like that. This is salvageable for me because I can color that in orange and I can color her in something darker. So this is definitely something I would like to color sometime in life. So yeah, that's fine for me, but that's interesting how that reacted there. But I did want it to look like a veil, but I did want it to see through it, because I also could have gone over with some thinned out white paint as well. But overall, I really like how this looks. And you guys know Halloween for me, orange, purple, black, and green. This is a fun color, buddy color with my girl Tammy, and that's out of this one. This is Erie's newest full-size book, at least I believe it is. And it's something like World Legends and Travels in the Land of Magic or something like that. But that's a completed page out of this one. I finally was able to complete a page out of this one, and this is Fantasy Season. I don't know who the artist is, but this was purchased from Amazon Japan, and I did this, and I have to tell you that all of this is done in Brett Funner squares, and that pencil works really well in here. I liked how they worked together, and I liked the vibrancy of the color in here. And this was for a find in color for Olga of Strawberry. So I was really pleased how the pencil came out on this, and it was, because it was pencil work, it actually took a little bit of time. I think I did this over a period of a few days. But I'm happy with the overall, and it does make me want to come in and do some other work in here. With some of these other pages, or probably if not most of them, I probably would do a base of either paint or water-based marker, and then do some pencil work on top, because again, pencil work really is taxing on my hands. But like I said, I really like the effect that the pencils had. I might also try and test out some of the other pencils that I have in this book as well. But this is Fantasy Season, and I did pick this up from Amazon Japan. I completed a page out of this one, Fairy Tale World by Funo Yanagawa. And this one was also a find in color for Olga. This one was also done with Brett Funner squares, and it was quite, what's the word, crumbly on here, especially because I used heavier pressure just to get some vibrant colors. But I guess I was in a pencil mode. Eventually, I decided to add some water-based marker on here just to make it go quicker, because it's a very detailed page and there's a lot of elements on the page. But otherwise, I'm really happy with the look of it. And I think this is the first page I've completed out of this book. So again, it would have gone towards T and Lavella's Color Your Hoard. And for my Coloropoly prompts for October, it was Food and Whimsical. And I think this actually captures both of those. I didn't post to Instagram because you guys know my Instagram game is weak. I either vomit pictures and posts on Instagram, or it's just silence. There is no in between for me. But I think it really looks good. And let's see. Because it's pencils, yeah, I don't see any ghosting whatsoever. Although if I were to ever color this page, I would want to put a buffer here so that some of this pencil work doesn't transfer over to that one. But yeah, really cute. Fairy Tale World by Funo Yanagawa. I do have an ongoing group buddy color in this one. This is City Amongst the Stars or something like that. This was an amazing gift from my friend Sarah of Chronic Coloring Down Under, and the page I completed was this one right here. I did want to do this to make it look kind of Halloween-y in, you guessed it, those colors that I enjoy. And so I did a background in a variety of different acrylic metallics. I did a purple, and then I did a black, and then some purple on top. And I think the shimmer is just really pretty. And then I did a black acrylic on this one. I think this was a black acrylic paint pen. And then I did the candy again to look not necessarily spooky, but definitely in the Halloween colors. And I think this looks really good. If you're following along or playing along, the group buddy color for November is this one right here. Clearly I have not started it, but it is on my to-do list. And so this is a completed page out of this, City Amongst the Stars, and this is a coloring book by Hannah Carlson. I did manage to complete a page out of a Joanna Basford book. This is one of the focuses I have. And when I started, I didn't have a direction. That shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. And so the way that I plan to finish out this page, and I don't know when I'll do this side, but when I do, I kind of want the rainbow to go that way. So I've got my yellows, my greens, and blues on this side, and then this will be pinks and purples and whatever's left of the rainbow. That's how I see it now, but that's not how I saw it when I first started the page. So I think it's really pretty. This is another pencil page for me. So this is Prisma pencils. This is Brett Funner squares, and then there's some dual hybrid metallic and Wink of Stella. So let's see. Absolutely no ghosting or bleed through that I can see. But because of the pressure, yeah, right there, some of this ink work is showing up right here, which is fine. I don't care. But yeah, that's my completed page out of this one, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Joanna Basford. I had a really fun buddy color with my girl Megan of Disney Megs, and we actually did this one right here. And this one I am 90% pleased with. The only thing I'm not pleased with is I couldn't get my alcohol markers from this layer to this layer to blend as nicely as I wanted to. And there are tons and tons of layers of markers on here. And I think that's probably my fault because my transition of colors is too stark. And because I'm dealing with, I think, cheaper versions of alcohol markers, they just don't blend as nicely as something like a Copic will. This we chose because the letter of the month was H for her monthly prompt, and my inspiration absolutely was the cover here. I love how vibrant it is. And I'm glad that it's the cover page, because then I didn't have to go online to look for the colorways of these characters, because I knew he was blue. I didn't know he had red ears, and I couldn't have told you what she was wearing. So overall, it was really a fun color. I did the background, or I did the edging to match the background. So that's why there's two different dual hybrid metallic pens there. And because you can't see the record player in the picture, that was one of the last things I colored, and I was kind of over it. I get bored with pictures really quickly. Well, not really quickly. This took some time. So by the time I get to the end of the page, I want it to be done. We are coloring Tiana. I thought her name was Tia, but she told me her name is Tiana. So this is Tiana that we're coloring, because her prompt for November is T, and I'm looking forward to doing this one. But that is Tour de Monde, a coloring book from Lyrica.com, and that's from Hache Hero. Now this is the final book that I'll be showing you, and then we'll go on to my reference journal. And I have to tell you, this one is probably the most daunting, because I know that there was going to be a lot of pieces to it, but I'm also quite pleased with the results. Probably top 3 of my favorites for this month. But it's this page right here. This was a wonderful buddy color with my girl Carrie K. And I am starting to read the first book, A Kotar. Yeah, so A Court of Thorns and Roses. And I'm probably about 60% through. I didn't finish it in October. I'm going to try to finish that one, and Throne of Glass, which is the other Sarah J. Maas coloring book that I have. And that's probably going to be it for me, because when I read Crescent City from Sarah J. Maas, I really loved that one. This one, not so much. But I do like the coloring book, so I'll still color in here. But it's funny, because I had started reading, and I know what scene this is from. But I'd already put the color to the background, because I actually think this is during the daytime. So I was a little bummed about that, but that's fine, whatever. And then the colors, I tried to make them as true as I can. I wanted her skin to be lighter, but I messed up. And you guys know, well, when I mess up on things, then I'm just going to keep adding things until at least I get an even tone, because I think my marker was running out and it wasn't a tone that I liked. But overall, I think the picture looks really, really pretty. It's funny that I won't continue on the series in the books. I don't care for the characters, her especially. And because I'm like, okay, wait, do I really want to read this series? I've actually read the fan Wikipedia, or however they call it, on the rest of the books, and yeah, they do him dirty, or Sarah does him dirty, and I don't like that. So yeah, I know people love this series, and that's fine. We don't all have to love the same thing, but I did enjoy this, even though it was a ton of work. But that is my last completed page. This is from A Court of Thorns and Roses, a coloring book inspired by the books from Sarah J. Maas. So let me get my reference journal, and I'll be right back. All right, so this is my Maisie Lane Co. Predominantly what I'm doing in here is just tracking coloring book stuff. I had some stuff in the beginning of this that I was tracking, but I'm no longer doing that. I've got it someplace else. And so let's look at our focus, because I'm not looking to complete any coloring book. I'm not looking to have any goals by way of pages, but I do want to focus on certain things. And so I did not complete an opal page, and that's 4 months running, which is kind of sad. Zan Von Zed, I did. Carla Magana, I did. Mythographic, no, I did not. Oh, I do have one for November already. Okay. Erie, yes. The postcard one and the one with Tammy. Joanna Basford, yes, finally. Reptiloids, nope, 2nd month in a row. I have not done anything from Reptiloids. Ikuko, yes. A 10 by 10 book. I think that one I just showed you could count towards that. And the Hannah Carlson book counts for the hardback. So that's good. Corey's challenges, yet again, I did not do. Hello New Year, I think October obviously was the last month. I didn't post to Instagram, but I definitely had pages that could have counted towards that. Hues of 2022 collab. I don't know that I did a coloring page. I'll have to go back and look because I think I did a video. I just don't know what it was on. Go me. I did not do the random color generator, although I did do the one color challenge, although I never posted it. Most of my pictures would have counted for Tammy's Fantasy for Tammy's 50th, although again, I don't know that I posted anything towards that. I did the Pixies Disney coloring. I did Meg's ABC Color Challenge, Grogu in 2022, Morgano Scavenger Hunt. Anything could have counted towards fairy tales and stories for my hashtag. I did do one for coloring the year of the tiger. The page I did in the Hannah Carlson book could have counted for these hashtags. Hannah in the City 2022, and then the particular page I chose was for Reach for the Stars, Hannah K 2022. So not bad. Again, if I make it, great. If I don't, I mean, there's no punishment. There's no reward, there's no punishment. It gives me something to focus on if I'm looking at completing certain pages. All right, so some other things we can check off is Fairy Tale World. We did complete a page this month, so yay. Dreams of Dragons, Entangled Landscapes, no. Fantasy Season, yes. 2022. Mythographic Voyage, no. And Ville Sauvage, no. So these are books up and through May of this year, 2022, I had not touched. And so my goal was by the end of the year to do at least one page. I'm actually on target because I have already completed one for November for Mythographic Voyage, and I will have done one in Entangled Landscapes. So after that, there's only a couple of other ones, and I'll see if I can, because I actually have a group, or I have a buddy color with Poet out of Dreams of Dragons that I'm about 75% into, but I don't like it. So I don't know. We'll see if I can resurrect that one. And then for Find in Color, Bicycle was last week. This week is Dolphin. I haven't even looked. I'm sure I can find a dolphin page. Beauty and the Beast goes through the end of November, and then I think she'll do another 3-month prompt. And then I did do the Coloropoly for October of Food and Whimsical. And there is none for November that I've seen, and that's fine. I don't know if there'll be one for December, but whatever the next time is, then that will go here. All right, guys, well, that's it for me for now. Let me know if you had a favorite page of the ones I've completed. And as always, aloha.